Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Richard, founder of Short-Term Rental University and Airbnb Superhost. And today I'm coming to you live from my place here in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, where Eric and I just went and toured and met with the contractor and the framer. And there's more of that to come. Charles is on his way here in the next couple of days, so we're going to bring you a whole project update. But suffice it to say, lit. You with me? Nonetheless, I really wanted to share with you an article that came across my desk. I posted it in our Facebook group, so if you're not a part of the free Short-Term Rental University Facebook group, be there or be square because you're missing stuff like this. But it was an interesting concept from the new CEO of Trivago. And here's his thoughts about Airbnb and what he's seeing in the space. And I'm going to just read the article with you, and then I'm going to share my perspectives and insight to hopefully help promote your business, primarily from a strategic perspective. Like, how are you positioning yourself for Airbnb 2.0? Because recall, what's worked in the past won't work in the future. So let's position ourselves intelligently to take advantage of this massive opportunity set and not be like run over or be a has-been or be like in that rugby scrum where everyone's just like challenged to get bookings and dropping prices and it's no fun and we're not making money. Let's avoid all of that. So let's listen to an industry expert. The new CEO of Trivago says that travelers want the coziness of an Airbnb, but the predictability of a hotel, and it's creating a new type of company. Sounds good. Travelers today want the coziness and personality of an Airbnb, but the predictability of a hotel. That's according to Alex Heffer, the new CEO of Trivago. The desire is creating a new type of hybrid company like Sonder, Lyric, and Blueground, which offer apartment-style rentals in properties they lease and manage. Heffer says these new companies are the next big thing in travel industry because they combine the best parts of Airbnbs and hotels, and they also fulfill travelers' desire for predictability. And that's what he believes. So in essence, travelers don't want to stay in hotels that look the same in every city and have no personality. But nor do they want the inconveniences that can crop up in an Airbnb, like a lockbox not opening when you're trying to check in or not being able to reach the owner when there's an issue. So the CEO of Trivago says that travelers today want accommodations that offer them the best parts of each: the personality and coziness of an Airbnb, yet the predictability of a hotel. There is high demand for high-quality apartments that are comparable to hotels, but these are difficult to find. And so there's a new type of hybrid company emerging to fill this hole in the market. He points to Sonder, a startup that offers apartment-style hotel rentals in properties that they lease, also known as rental arbitrage. Sonder, which has a total valuation upwards of $1 billion and has Airbnb's former CFO, Lawrence Tozy, who, by the way, worked at my prior employer, the Blackstone Group, so I have basis to believe that he's a highly intelligent and highly qualified ex-CFO of Airbnb, and now he sits on Sonder's board, so this guy kind of is worth listening to. They have at least 8,500 rentable spaces in 23 cities, including New York City, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, New Orleans, Nashville, Austin, Denver, Chicago, and Miami. And it's also expanding internationally to London, Dubai, and Dublin. All right? So there's a lot of amazing things happening, and it's all in what I would call the mass market. Scale, 8,500 units. So by definition, if we listen to what Mr. Heffer says here, they want the predictability of a hotel. I believe companies that have $1 billion valuation and the kind of management that we just discussed should be able to run 8,500 units with the predictability of a hotel. In fact, they probably are running a hotel. So I don't really take that much issue with that, although, you know, I think the execution is probably harder than Mr. Heffer believes, than Mr. Tosi believes, than the Sonder CEOs believe. Execution is always more challenging than you believe, but I believe that they will get that done. So let's just pass on that. But here's the question: can they create the coziness of an Airbnb? Then therein lies my answer and what I take issue with the article. You can't create 8,500 charming and cozy and unique places. You could do 8. You probably could do 85. You could maybe even do 850. But can you do 8,500 that are cozy and comfortable and lived in and have warmth and character? I don't think so. Because at that point, when scale is what it is that you're searching for, it's all about replicating, right? So I want to order 8,500 of the same mattresses, 8,500 of the same box springs, 8,500 of the same tables, lamps, etc. That's no different than the way that a hotel does purchasing. Eric and I were just at the BDNY Boutique Hotel show, and I can tell you, walking through the show and saying I want to order 14 is a pretty small number, right? They want 140, they want 1,400, they want 14,000. So by definition, when you move into that more commercial space, you're no longer doing ones and twos and mom and pop type stuff. And that's where the coziness and comfort and warmth and character comes in. It's individual. When you go mass market, it's totally different. IKEA, not warm. McDonald's, not warm. Find an individual bed and breakfast or an individual Airbnb, warm, character filled, but it's got some drawbacks. So what's the answer to this? Wherein lies the opportunity? And I will go on record as saying I believe these new business models that Mr. Heffer from Trivago thinks are so like forward thinking and filling the gap and filling the hole and so on and so forth. I think it's a bad business model. I think we're going to see people blowing up and losing a lot of money, investors losing a lot of money in these models, just like WeWork. And the primary reason is because they don't actually fill a void. All they're doing is putting a Band-Aid on what exists there, and it seems to sort of satisfy, but if you lift the Band-Aid or you peel the covers back, it's really no different than a hotel, only it has less service, less hospitality, less convenience, and therefore warrants less money. So in this race for mass like market, 8,500 to 85,000 units, what's going to happen is they're going to start competing with themselves. There will be consolidation. Maybe Sonder buys Lyric, or Lyric buys Sonder, or they merge, or something happens, but it's not going to be this new opportunity that Mr. CEO at Trivago believes. I believe they're going to compete themselves into oblivion by decreasing prices at exorbitant rates. $1 billion valuation doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and I don't think that investors should be thinking that way anymore in light of what's happened with WeWork. The basic premise behind rental arbitrage is a mismatch of duration. You sign a long-term lease, and then you sublease it out nightly. That generally leads to problems over the long term because there are disruptions, hiccups, things that we didn't anticipate, things that we didn't predict. And if you have 8,500 units with a long-term lease and you're trying to rent them by the night and something happens, that could be a pretty big problem. So what do we do as entrepreneurs to get around this, and how do we add value, and how do we differentiate ourselves, and how do we stand apart with this wall of money coming in to fill this new opportunity? Well, we do what we do best. We provide warmth, coziness, comfort, character, all of those things that we can do as individual hosts. And by the way, we can do it for 1 unit or 10 units or maybe even 100, but I don't think many of us can do it for 1,000 or 10,000. So we can do it on a smaller scale. So we got that wrapped up, and that's the way to go. Differentiation. Here's the thing that we as entrepreneurs have to face and solve, which is that predictability thing. The things that we got away with in the past when the air conditioning didn't work, or the light didn't work, or the bathroom was, clogged, and all these things that we're just kind of like, well, it's my home, it's kind of a side gig, and it's really nice, and it's a great location, and you're enjoying your stay here. Like, we have to solve those. We have to fix those. We have to provide the reliability, the convenience of a hotel, but with the warm and character. That's the solution, Mr. Trivago. It's not going out making 8,500 rubber stamps of a new stamp, right? Like, it's a new cast, a new die. We created a new rubber stamp. We're going to make as many of those widgets as possible. That's not the solution. What people are really clamoring for is the uniqueness, the individuality, the location, the kind of places that don't support 8,500 units. I want to be like on the point. There's 1. I want to be on the golf course. There's 10. Whatever the numbers are, but unique and differentiated. I've been teaching that time and time again about the importance of differentiation. This message is about what we need to do to improve reliability, consistency, ease of use, access, communication, hospitality in that regard, so that people can come and book our places without any concern. And I just went through this right now. I just booked a great Airbnb in Palm Springs for Thanksgiving. And I was speaking with Eric and my kids about, should I be cooking or should we go out to a restaurant? Well, I can't commit to cooking because I don't know what the kitchen looks like. I don't know what utensils and appliances, whether it works or it doesn't work, whether I can make this family feast in there or not. And so therefore, I'm leaning towards going to a restaurant. But in the future, we should have a set of standards, and we should communicate all this, and it should be proactively available. Like, this is a chef's kitchen with all this, and this, perfect for your Thanksgiving dinner, and that place will get more bookings for people that want to cook Thanksgiving dinner. So we as entrepreneurs and as superhosts really need to improve on our consistency in our communication, in our professionalism, because we got everybody beat with the character. And I'm going to encourage you to go even more towards character, more unique, more differentiation. So I'd love to hear your thoughts below. Please leave them in the comments. Like the video so that more people understand sort of what we're up against and also where the opportunity is, right? It's like a big scary thing, but it leaves so much opportunity for entrepreneurs like this guy and that woman behind the camera and all of you watching all over the world. This is a feel-good story. They can't replicate what it is that we're doing, but we just need to improve our consistency to outcompete them. And nowhere along the line are we discussing competing on price. We compete on our differentiation and we match or beat their consistency and their service level. And we, as individual hosts, win. Not Sonder, not Lyric, not even Airbnb necessarily in their hotels and all of that. So the hybrid model is a temporary model. What continues to win here is predicated on the individual hosts and our unique skills and character, charisma, charm, our love of hosting, welcoming people into our home and our community. We just need to do it knowing that what worked in the past and what we got away with in the past, and we got all upset when we got a 4-star review, like that's a 3-star review next year, and the year after it's a 2-star review, and the following year it's a 1-star review, and the year after that you're out of business. So button that stuff up, friends. All right, thank you very much. Have a great day, and I appreciate your time.